Hey everybody, this is RJ Stewart, CEO, founder, and creator of Ember, the automation system for virtually every business out there. Now, um, today I want to walk through and do a quick demo of what we have here in this platform, what we do, and how it can benefit your business. So, if I could borrow a few minutes of your time, I'd appreciate it as I walk through a couple of our features, not every single one of them, because there are, as you can see, a lot of features here. You know, we'd be here all day. All right, so first I want to direct you to our main screen. This is the home page that you'll see here. It'll let you know that your account is active. It'll allow you to set up and update your avatar. Some support links and documentations, API documentation. If you're a developer, this is where you want to go in case you want to create any kind of external plugins that you want to create to be able to attach to the platform. We're still working on a full open source version, but as of right now, you can use APIs to actually create plugins or have Ember communicate with such things like Stripe. We have a great API thing going with Stripe, so you could easily pull it in, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So let me direct you first around. Over here, you'll have your home. This, if you click here, it'll always bring you back home, which is this page right here. Here is a mini menu. It'll shrink down this menu, clear up more space, and this is your workspace right here. Sometimes I like to clear this out so that I can have more room to work. And then other times when I don't have anything crazy going, I'll just click that and it'll lock it here. Okay. Over here you have your web phone, which we'll go over, but in the meantime you can use it and you can move it to wherever you want on the page. I like to put it here, that way when I shrink this, I put it here, so when I shrink this, it stays with that. So I have a clear workspace, you know. In the meantime, I'll leave this here like that. This is your profile here. You can click on here and you can see your role, anyone that you have under you. Yeah, that's pretty much what that is. It'll allow you to search. There's nothing really too crazy going on there. You have this will bring up the account, your other I'll say more sensitive account information, email address. It'll bring up the terms, policy, privacy contract, acceptable use policy, and also allow you to log out here. All right, now let's get into the more exciting things. Right, so here you'll have this bar. I already did it, but it'll allow you to get set up, you know, connecting your domain, information about your business. You'll walk through a whole onboarding process that'll make this way easier for you. And once you complete it, this bar will say 100% complete. All right, it's very easy to walk through. It tells you step by step everything that you need to do. So I'm just providing this video for just some added support. Okay, so first one we'll click, this is announcements. I would always suggest you guys always check this out every once in a while. It is announcements. It lets us know what we're doing, what new things we added, any updates, anything that we're, you know, because we're very, very, very involved in our review process. We're very involved in checking our emails, seeing you guys, your reviews you put, your testimonials, anything that you guys have to say, we listen to. All right, so with the soft phone feature that we have, you guys said that you wanted an IVR system. You wanted an IVR system, so then when people called, you know, you'd have that voicemail. Hey, please, welcome to my business. Please press 1 for parts. Please press 2 for sales. 3 for service. So that was an updated patch that we added on 3/25/2023. Pipeline automations, we added a tutorial because you guys asked for it, and we continue to add more videos, we continue to add more updates to the platform as we go, because we're listening to what you're saying. What we don't have, you tell us you need it, then we work on adding these features. Okay, so always check your announcements, see what we've done new. Let's go on to the next part here. we have the chat feature. Now, the chat feature has its limitations, of course, but it also has its strong points, all right? So you can connect unlimited inboxes, all right? Right now we're working with Meta, which you guys might know as Facebook, and we're integrating Facebook and Instagram here too, so you'll be able to check all your Facebook and all your Instagram conversations through here. You'll be able to respond, you'll be able to stay active, and be able to set up auto response, canned messages, set up teams, label, check your reports. All right, you'll be able to do all of that. You'll be able to send messages from here as an inbox with all your stuff. You'll have all your emails that you sync to it all loaded here, and it's a one-stop for all conversations via email or messaging. That's all here. All right, I won't stay too long on any one tab, because like I said, I can't cover all these tabs, but we'll make it even worse is me spending hours talking about each tab, because I really honestly can. Your calendar, so amazing. I love this calendar feature. This calendar feature pretty much takes your all of your scheduling and puts it in one place. All right, so you think Calendly, but on steroids. All right, so you can set up your bookers, and you can have multiple bookers here. So if you have a large team, set them up in here. Set them up. They'll all be in here. You can create a new booker. It's so very easy to do. Just click that button and then create the new booker. All right. I already have one created here, which is me here. All right. And you have your public booking page settings, and you have your meeting link. And you can change it whenever you want. You can change the domain. You have numerous domains that we're able to use. These are some of the domains I've created. So each time that you create a new web page, which we'll cover later, you'll have the option to be able to add a domain to it. And that domain will have an email link to it. You know, so if you, we'll get to that in a minute, but you're able to do that. So just keep that in mind. So you can embed a code. So if you have a when you have your web page up, you can embed it and have your calendar featured on the page. All right. Or you can just copy the meeting link and send it over. Click copy just like that. Send it over in the email to somebody right here. So they could, yeah. So let's go here. Your meeting event options, very customizable. You can set your business hours. Your business hours block off or allow people to know that you're available at certain times on your calendar. If you have 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., which I have right here, that means people are able to schedule in between that time. If I was to put 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., after 2 p.m., people can't fill my calendar up and make schedules, make appointments, all right? So it's very, very customizable. You even have a fake business to show part of the business hour you set above to make it look that you are very busy and create that urgency for them to hurry up and book that call. Create that exclusivity, that you're a rare commodity, and that if they don't book right now, they're not going to get a spot. So you can click that fake busy right here and what percentage. So you can put 50%, which takes away 50% of those business hours to create that urgency. Like, oh, I have to book right now because this guy's running out of spots, you know? And you could always turn it back off when you're ready to, all right? Meeting types, you can create whatever meeting types you want. We have some preloaded in here, 15 minutes, a 30 minute, a 60 minute. Now, you can, oh, we don't want to do that. You can create a new one here by clicking, set up the title, the meeting length, start times and increments of, and then add something, add a description of the meeting, whatever you want to do. For right now, I'm just going to leave it like this. You can create up to 5 different options. Now, you can set up buffers in here. So after each meeting, say you want 30 minutes, a 30-minute buffer. Nobody can schedule or bother you. That way you're not rushing from one meeting to another. It gives you 30 minutes after each meeting. Or you can set up even days or hours. It's up to you. All right. You can set up your hour format. You have other options here you can mess around with and do whatever. Allow rescheduling. All events need to be approved. I don't usually set that up because of the fact that I set my business hours in here. So if you book anywhere in here, I'm completely fine with. So I'm not going to sit and approve each one of the meetings that come in. All right. And then you have your email notices. Your email, You'll get an email to notify you for any of these things. If someone declined, if they approved, if it's pending approval. Or reminders is one of my favorite. You can have a reminder sent to you and all the attendees 1 hour before the meeting, 2 hours before the meeting. You can set up a day before the meeting. And you could always add more reminders. You could have 1 day before the meeting, and then an hour before the meeting, and then 15 minutes before the meeting, to make sure that you're at top of mind and they're not forgetting that they have this meeting with you. All right, invitations, follow-ups. You can set up a follow-up to go out as soon as a meeting's finished. You can have 30 minutes after, hey, automated email go out, hey, I had a great time meeting with you. If you have any more questions, just shoot me an email, all right, or reply to this message. And you can set as many follow-ups as you want. All right, let's get off the calendar and let's continue going forward. Database is the heart and soul of this entire system and how it's going to work for you, because it's where all of your contacts are, all of your emails, everything, all of that is in here. All right. And of course, I blurred these out because this is sensitive information to some of my clients. So I don't want, you guys emailing my clients and bugging them, because that's kind of like a breach of contract. But you can add tags, remove tags. Tags help you be able to identify and track any of your contacts or customers or clients as they move through your system. And I'll show you why that's important in a few minutes. All right. You can add them to a flow. I'll show you why that's important. You can export your database. So if you using Ember, we don't own your contact or own your mailing list. You can export that in at any time that you want. All right. Set it on. If you have multiple team members and you want to set it up to where one person owns all of a certain tag, or you want one person who's in charge of all of the parts sales or service side, you can set it up to where he's the owner of everyone that comes in with the tag of they want to purchase. That one person is in charge of those people, so you have accountability there. You could click on one person, and after you click them, it unlocks all of this stuff, and you can send a message. All right, send a message, set only. You could do all of that stuff. Over here, you could set up companies in here. So if you want to separate contacts from companies, or you have somebody that's a company owner, you could set them up as a contact, but then still have their company in here locked up. All right. Now, forms. This is what everybody wants to see right here. How to create forms. All right. So your forms are what get you your leads, what bring your leads in. As you see, I have a couple of forms here, integrating instructions. How do you distribute these? You can have a share form where you click here and you copy it. You can share that form via a link, or you have an embed code. All right, where you can embed it on different sites. Anything that accepts custom code like HTML, you just copy this and you paste it in there, and it'll put that form on there. And you also have API integration in case people want to be a little bit fancy and create some more endpoints. You can go for it. We want that to happen. All right. So trigger flows. When that form is filled out, what is triggered? What automations are triggered? That's where you set this up at. Okay. So let's go into a form real quick. I clicked up create form. Now you can create a single page form, or what I like is the multi-page form, which walks them through each single step. All right. So I'm going to go multi-page just so you can see what that looks like. And it already has right here some wording here, but I'm going to delete that so I can show you how to do it from scratch here. All right. All right. So you drag and drop any form. So layout is what I'm going to go to first. And I'm going to go to content, and I'm going to drag and I'm going to drop it over here. And you can add text in here. And you click your edit button right here. And what do I want to add into this? I'm going to say, hello, thanks for watching. Period, of course. We want to be punctual here. Now, if you highlight that, you could change how you want it to look. Headings. Heading 2, heading 3, this is all for SEO purposes, for easier tracking. What font family we want to go with, I'll say Georgia. Oh, let me highlight it first, and let's say Georgia. I like how it looks. Now, font size, you can go up or down. Let's go for big, and you can bold it up. Oh, hold up, I gotta click that. We'll go with big, And let's add some bold to it and maybe some italics. If you want a link attached to that piece of text, you can. Bulleted list, numbered list, increase the indent, turn it into a quote, add a table, add some media in there. You want a video in there before they fill out the form? Go for it. Center it, whatever you need to do here, you know. It's all customizable. You can go conditional for people that want to have conditions in here. Go for it. Advanced conditions, it goes even more into it. For people that want to be a little bit more customized, you have JavaScript in there. Go for it. You're not limited here at all. Your logic, we'll do another video for that because that's a whole nother beast. But we will eventually have a video out for that, all right? So let's save that. We're just doing the basics here. So we have that here. Hello, thanks for watching. Now I might want some info from you. So I want a first name from you. I want a last name from you. And I want your email. So I'm going to put that there. And that's it. All right, so now let's do a page 2. Because after they finish this, there's going to be a submit button down here. Automatically puts it there, so don't worry about putting that there. But it's automatically there. So let's go to page 2. After you go to next, what's going to be on page 2? Let's drag and drop another. Let's do columns here. We'll drop columns here, and we have 2 columns. In one column, let's put in an image. So I'll put an image in here, and you can change the width, the height. You can add a link to the image if you want. Have a placeholder. You probably won't need that, but you know, we add it in there anyway. But then you have all this other stuff here, and you have add-ons. If you want to add add-ons, you'll add your add-ons. I'll show you the menu to do that, but they'll all be available here. All right, so let's go back to display. Let's save this because I did not want to add an add-on. So I'm going to drag or drop or select the image. So you could click here to select the image, or you can drag and drop, but I'm not going to go open another folder just to drop it. So I'm going to click here, select that. It's going to open up a folder right here, and I'm going to add our nice logo without the wording here. I'm just going to grab that and drop it in there. And I could change the size or whatever, but it's not necessary. So this is going to stay here because you could always change it. But when you preview it or when you publish it, this won't be there. So don't worry about that at all, right? So let's put another component over here. Say we want somebody to make a purchase here. We'll drop that purchase here, and then it'll bring up the first name, last name, credit card, all that stuff, a purchase form. Now on the side over here, you'll see, what do you want to do? I want to sell a product. Or you can collect a donation. Or you could just collect a credit card because you want to secure a payment. You give it during the 14-day trial. So you'll collect the credit card information, but you won't charge them right now. All right? That's for another video, but that option is there. Or user defined amount. They'll pick what amount that they want to put in there. Or you can collect donations where they'll also collect, but for nonprofits and such. You know, so right now on this one, we'll go with sell products. Okay? So you could change the header here. Right here it says purchase. Right here it says purchase. And I'll just say, buy my stuff, please. And you see it reflects over here immediately. All right, so purchase header section text, you can put whatever you want in here, and you can see it's just populating right there. You can have a coupon code, which we'll show you how to do later, but you can add a coupon code and they can apply it. Bam. All right, credit card input, we want that to show. Collect credit card name, we do want to collect that. Collect CVV, yes, we want that. We can choose to collect their phone number if we want. We could choose to collect their email, but we already did that on page 1, remember? So that's just redundant. We don't want to repeat steps and have them doing it over again. We do want to collect the billing address for the card. If you want, you can collect the full address or the zip only. I'm going to put zip only. Stripe is what we use and integrated with this, so Stripe doesn't require the full address. So all they want is the credit card number, the country, the zip code, and the first and last name. That's it. Now You could select what product you want now. You could select multiple products, or you could select one product, or all selected. I'm just going to put select one here, right? Now, what product are we selling? You go to configurations over here. All right. So now you create or select the product that you want to sell. I have products already in here, so I'm not going to create a product. I'm just going to select one. And so we have our funnel builder. I'll select that, $5.99 every month. Bam. It puts it in here. Now it looks like this on here because we have it in two columns. I could easily put it in one column and make it look like that. All right, so it's an easy drag and drop. So now I pulled it out of that column, gave it its own column, and it looks way better like that. Shows everything that's there, shows a little description, which I really don't like that description. I'm probably just going to take that out and leave it like that. And it shows their total, it shows their first name, last name. They can fill all of that out. It has an image below, and say you want to put a signature. You want them to sign a signature. Well, that signature, they'll be able to sign it. If they have a touch screen, they can sign it with their finger, they can sign it with their mouse. This is great for building contracts. You can get their signature and then the date below it as well. Bam. And now you have a legally binding contract. Bam. Easy. Easy peasy. With their signature here. And their first and last name. So easy. All done right there. Alright. You have text areas that you want to fill out. If you want the password, opt-in email, radio buttons, all of this is here. It's very easy. We already looked at common. We looked at advanced. If you want them to upload a file, sorry, let's put that here so that way it has its own thing. If you want them to upload a file, they can drop that file in here, or they can click here, browse, and pull it from their computer. All right. But say you need them to upload their ID to prove that they're themselves, or they're having an issue with something with your product and you want them to screenshot it. They could put that screenshot and drop it in here. All right. This the possibilities are endless with forms. Forms are huge, and that's why I spent so much time on it. All right. So let's save this form, and it always saves a version. Okay. So after you save it one time, then afterward, it'll automatically create a new version. So 1.2, 1.3, and it'll always have a date. So let's call this the sample form. Bam. And let's save that there. All right. So now that's saved, and it automatically, if you'll see, it'll create your integration instructions. How are you going to distribute it? We talked about that earlier, so we don't have to go into that again. But then you have your view live form link, and you'll click on that, and then it will show you a live form of here, and automatically it put my wife's name in here, which is hilarious, and one of my other emails in here. So it is what it is, but it'll show step 1 of 2, because all we made was 2 steps, so step 1 of 2. So after that's filled out, and those are required forms, we set them as required. So now you fill that out, and see that was the next and the cancel button. When I told you they will automatically populate, bang, we fill that out. Let's click next, and now it will open this up, and they can select that's what they want to purchase, and it automatically populates. If you didn't see that, let's unclick it. See here, today's total, there's nothing there, but as soon as you click that box, bam, and it puts it in your currency. You could change your currency whenever you want, but it starts to fill all the, they fill all of this stuff out here. Zip codes, all of that stuff, right? If they don't fill something out, they'll get a little error here. Zip code invalid, which means they need to go back and fill it. They agreed to pay that, they'll need to click that, and yeah. Now, for signing here, bang, they signed their signature. They messed up, click that, goes away, but they signed it. And then they could pick the date that they signed, and that's a contract right there. they want to upload something or drag and drop something in here, they can click browse, or they can drag and drop it, and they can drop whatever file they want in there. And now it's uploaded. I just uploaded my copywriting templates in the JPEG format. Shows the size and the type that it is. It will usually pick up exactly on what it is. If it doesn't, it's okay. But don't worry. But this is actually a JPEG. So I'm going to select JPEG. And then I'm going to submit the form. But I can't because I didn't enter all the zip code, credit card, all that stuff. I'm not going to enter that. But that's how that process would work. All right, so forms is huge, and that's why I spent so much time just talking about it. So let's close that preview, and let's bring us back in here. So we're done with forms right now, all right? Let us exit. So you also have your settings here. I'm not going to walk through that, but these are your settings. The title, a description of it for SEO to be found online. What theme you want on here. The form size, extra wide, medium, thin. We're running on medium right now. It typically looks way better, especially when it converts over to the the mobile devices. It looks way better. All right. Now I like to personally click email me for any form submissions. So the email that you put in the chat section in the beginning, it's gonna send it to this email. All right. So anytime that someone fills out your form, bang. You could also decide what do you want to happen when that form is submitted. You want it to show a message? Do you want to redirect to another URL? What do you want it to do? It's up to you. Possibilities are endless, all right? So let's leave out the forms because now that we cover forms, we can cover other things. And here's your exit up here. Let's exit out of there, back out. And now let's go over the pipelines because pipelines are great as well. All right. Pipelines allow you to track prospects and lead them on a customized journey, and for you and your team to also know what's going on. So I created a lead page, and my lead page, when people fill it out, it puts a $ and a price on that lead and what amount of money we're talking about getting out of this lead. So $100 for this lead. I put a tag on it for hot lead when they came in. They came through my sales funnel and they received the template that I had sent out to them with my automations. All right. So right now they need analysis. I have a couple of them and I need to follow up with these 3, but I know that I need to follow up with them, and that's why they're here. Now I've made contact with this one. I have a demo scheduled with this one. And then after we finish the demo, it'll automatically move over to negotiation. Now, if I have a meeting with them and it didn't go through my automations, then I am going to move it over like this into negotiation so that me and my entire team know that the demo was already done. Now it's time to negotiate. And I can add another lane if I want. I can add a new pipeline if I want. But this is my client acquisition leads pipeline. But I can add a new one if I want. All right. And this also shows me what's going on in this pipeline. All right. I have $300 sitting in needs analysis. So that means I need to address these guys quick and get them moved over. I have $100, in my negotiations, and I have $100 in contacts made. The goal is to get them all in negotiations and get these deals closed. But it shows me a comprehensive report of what's going on in my pipeline, all right? And then I could even see it in text down here. All right, so it makes it very easy, very legible, very, very comprehensible and understandable. Now, if I want to add, I can add somebody in there manually. I could also rename the lane. So if I don't want to be called needs analysis, I can call it something else, all right? Or I could just delete the whole lane if I want. I could also add by clicking here as well. Add them under this one. So I'm going to say sample, person. And I'll save here. And that's it. Then I could click whenever I want, and I can open that up, and I can add the status. I could put a value to it. I'll say $100 to that one. The probability, what's going on? What's the probability of me closing this, and what date do I want to close them by? You know, it creates accountability for you and your team. What's the opportunity source? Did they come from ads? Did they come a pay-per-call? So now I can start to measure my success. If I'm looking and I'm seeing that everyone here says sales funnel, my sales funnel must be doing its job. But or if I see them all from referral, evidently referrals are the way to go. All right, so there's lots of customizability here. You add another contact. You can assign it to someone in your team member, or you can scroll through and look through all of your cards here. Right, I'm not gonna do that for sake of privacy for my clients. You know, we take privacy very seriously, so I will never show you any names of my clients or their phone numbers or anything like that. So let's move on now out of pipelines to automations. No, you have your automations here that you can create. Their flows, they flow very nicely. I love automations. Believe it or not, this is my favorite thing. Automations just are the bread and butter of this entire program. Should be the bread and butter of your business. All right, if your business isn't automated, then you're working and you're doing more work than you should be doing. And that was the reason why this business was created, is to help business owners automate. So without further ado, let's get into the real reason why we're here: automating your business. Okay, so you can create your automations here. All right, you just click create flow, or if you go back here into database, some people say database. I don't know, whichever one you want to call it. If you go into your forms, you can create you go into your forms here, you can create triggers as well, and what triggered for automation to start. All right, well, we'll cover that another time, but I just wanted you to be aware of that. So let's go back into automations and let's walk through a quick automation where we're going to do some simple stuff, but after you understand this, it's going to make way more sense to you. Okay, so let's create a flow, and we're going to use that form that we created earlier, and we're going to use that form to trigger this automation, if that makes sense. All right, so let's click here and work trigger name. Let's go, let's call it sample trigger. And now you have different things here. All right, if you were using the call system on here, which I'll show you in a second, if the call was terminated, you want this to trigger. If a call was started, you want this trigger. If a tag was added to the lead, you want that trigger. And then you also have your APIs and stuff for people that are a little bit more advanced. You have your filters, which we just have a default set, but we can add triggers whenever we want. I'm sorry, I don't want to add a trigger here. I'm going to keep this empty because we're going to add it to that form, like I said. So this is your start point here. All right, this is where we start and this is where we end right here. And we're just going to connect the dots, but we got to put stuff in between that we want to happen. So I'm going to move this down here a little bit to give us some room to work in our work area. You could zoom in or you could zoom out. All right, and you can center here as well. And you have a little a little menu here. You could change the name of this automation. You can see how many contacts prescribed. We just created this, so there's none. Who edited it, when it was created, when it was done, the time, all of that's here. All right, so let's close that again and let's begin building this. So you have your menu over here. You can shrink it down if you need to and get rid of it, or you can show it again by clicking that plus. You have CRM, data services, logic, messaging, and phone. All right, what I like is the phone. You could play a recording if you want. You could open up a company directory, IVR, multiple choice. Remember I told you we created the IVR? That's in here now. If the phone was hung up on you, you could have an email automatically sent or SMS text message automatically sent to the person that hung up. Hey, we lost you. The call dropped. If you like, give me a call back between these hours. Sorry. that we missed you, blah blah blah, whatever you want, you can automate all of that. If a call is transferred, if it's transferred to a conference room, anything that happens or that occurs, you can create an automation to where automatically your system is responding to that event. So let's go really into that. So let's go into CRM first. Somebody filled out the form that we just created. Automatically, what I want to do is I want to do lookup contact. That's the first thing I like to do, because I like to know if that person already has an email or information in my system already. So I'm going to set it to look it up by email, right? You have different options, but people typically use the same email for everything. So I'm going to click email. If this email exists inside of my system already, I want it to merge with the older information, because if they put a new phone number in there, I want it to automatically update that. But you have other things, delete the existing older contact and keep the newest one. I don't want to do that. Do nothing, instead show a contact found and let them know, hey, you're already in our system, we can't accept you. I don't want to do that either. I like to merge it. Take that email that you put in, and if you put a new phone number in there, all right, go for it. If not, I'm not going to duplicate the contact. What it does is it automatically says, hey, you're already a contact in here, I'm still going to accept it. So you also can add fields that you want, but I don't want to add fields. I'm just going to go off of the contact. You can have an email and a phone number, but I don't want to do that. We're just going to go off an email. So I'm going to save that there. Now you have lookup contact. If no, the contact's not in there, what do you want to happen? If yes, what do you want to happen? You could branch it off, all right? But for this simple thing, we're going to keep it really simple, and we're going to have the same thing happens whether they're in the system or not. But I want you to know that that exists. You can branch off and have different things happening in that event, all right? If you want to get rid of this, you just click that X and this will go away. If you don't want that step there, you can move it to wherever you want so your area is not cluttered. But I'm going to put it right under here, because right after it starts, that's the first thing I want to happen. So I'm going to grab this here and I'm going to connect it. Bang. So from the start to here, that's all that's happening. If I want to put anything else in here, I'll just grab it and I'll drop it in there. All right. We're not going to do that though. So I want to put this back in here in between the ending and the beginning. And that's our first thing here. Now this automatically connected because I interfered, but it is what it is. So after that, I want to be notified. I'm the owner. I want to be notified of what's going on. I want an email coming to me. So I don't have to set the owner, because I'm the only owner. If you have multiple people in your system, you'll have different owners in here. So I'm going to set the owner as myself. You could randomly select the owner. I have a demo account and I have myself. I want to be notified. So I click save. Now, this is going to look up the contacts, see if they're in the system. If they're in the system, it's going to merge their new information with the old information and create just one contact. Then I want to be notified. So I put that in there and I'll drop it in there. But I want a yes, no matter what, I want to be notified. So both the yes and the no is here. All right. So that's the second thing we have done. So after that, we're not going to walk through all of this stuff here, but after that, I want to put a tag on them. We talked about tags earlier. I want to put a tag on them. I want to call them, what are they? They're a lead. Let's say you have different ones. I have new leads, trial lead, copywriting templates. I want to say interested in demo. They're interested in the demo for Ember. So that's going to be that tag. And I'm going to add that tag. You can remove the tag, tag, or you can remove all tags. We want to add a tag to them. You can add multiple tags if you want, but I'm just going to add one. And then I'm going to save. So now, let's stick that in there. After it looks up that contact, determines if it wants to merge or the information or whatever, then it's going to contact me and let me know, hey, somebody just filled out your form. Then it's going to slap a tag on them right here. After that, I want to send out a quick email that lets them know, hey, thanks for filling out this form. If you want to talk, let's talk. So we go to messaging. Now you can send an email, or you can send an SMS or MMS, text message, or a multimedia message. You can send it straight to their phone. And I think that is amazing. Or you can set an opt-in status to where they're getting your post or email newsletter all the time. But for right now, let's just stay simple and let's send them a simple email. All right. So you open that up. You can set the subject, and I'll say thanks for filling out our form. And that's what's going to show. Oh, let's capitalize that right there. That's what's going to show as the subject. Sender name, I'll put RJ Stewart, so you know it's from me. Default email address, it's going to be what I set up in the chat box that we talked about earlier, or you can set a custom email. I'm just going to keep it default. All right. Who do you want to send this email to? As default, is contact email. So whatever email address that they put in that form that they filled out, it's going to send it to that. Or you can have it go to their shipping email, their office, their home, depending on what forms you put in, or their user login. But whoever I sent this form to, probably hasn't signed up yet. So I'm just going to stick with the default contact email. Whatever email that they put in that form, this is who it's going to. Now you have your events. You can CC or blind CC. If you want someone else in your team to get an email when this comes in, you can CC them, or you could blind CC to where the person that filled out the form doesn't know that you sent the email to them as well. So this works if you have multiple team members and they need to know, but you don't want the client or customer or prospect to know about it. Or if you want them to know, just CC. So you have CC and you have blind CC. The reply to name, who are they going to reply to? They're going to reply to RJ Stewart. Now you don't have to fill this out. The reply to email, who should they reply to? Let's say support at embersystem.com. By the way, this is our email if you ever need any support. Support at embersystem.com. All right. Now, if this is a marketing email, you click yes. If not, don't worry about it. Now, here's the thing to remember. If it's a marketing email, you have to go through and you have to put in your marketing address. There's certain rules and regulations that you have to follow. That way they can opt out of that marketing campaign. You have to give people the chance to be able to do so. It's highly illegal to not do so. All right, so that's what that is. Now, if you're unsure if it's a marketing email or not, the best way to choose or decide that if it is, if they filled out a form, it's not a marketing email. It's a response to something that they already did. But if you're just sending it out because they're on your mailing list, it's a marketing email. They didn't ask for this email to go out, if that makes sense. If you have more questions, like I said, support at embersystem.com. But I hope that I made that make sense. But now we're going to ask you to edit your email. So this is where you edit your email. You have two different options here. You can work in the text email builder. You can work in HTML if you want, or you can go straight to the visual email builder. Most people love the visual email builder. We just started with that here because we wanted to go for that easy click, drag and drop, and it will open this email up for you here. So you have the desktop view and you have your mobile view. You have your actions here. If you want to preview, send a test email, or save the email that you made as a template. You can show the structure. Right now the structure is the different boxes and sections to show you how it looks from a developer's point of view and not from the point of view of the person that's receiving the email. So let's hide the structure for now, and we have text here. Now I'm going to remove this text just to show you how to get it there. Whenever you delete something, it's going to ask you if you're sure. All right, you have your blocks of content here. What I want to do is I want to create a row. I'm going to grab a row and I'm going to stick it here. This is for a single row here. So we have that there. I'm going to delete the first row. That way there's no confusion. We created this row here. All right, you have your settings over here, the content area width. How long do you want it to go? As you can see, the box fixing here, it's adjusting as I'm moving. All right, you can change the background color of it. Let's go with red here. Bang. It's so easy. If you have a link in there, what color, what font do you want to use? The area background color, we have it transparent right now. We could change it whatever we want, and you'll see it changing over here. All right, black. Let's go with black and red for no reason. I have no reason at all. All right, now let's drop an image in there. You drop the image, and let's look at pulling. You can either upload the image, or you can pull from the image you have. I already have images in here, so I'm gonna insert. You could preview the image first to show you the size, the format, and also what date you uploaded it. I put this in here on the 21st of this year, so I'm gonna insert that. And because I have that black background, it looks horrible. So that was a bad move right there. But it'll also have the URL to the picture. Since you uploaded it to Ember, it gets the URL. You can add alternate text for SEO. You can add a link to it. And also, I should probably just change this entire background color, because I'm pretty sure it's probably bothering you guys like it's bothering me. So I'm going to go with a white background here. And now we can actually see that there. All right, I'm going to also change the what is it, oh yeah, I'm sorry, you could apply effects and more. I'm sorry, I kind of lost track and went off in the days. But you could apply effects. It'll give you a blank background. You could transform, resize, crop, add stickers, add shapes to it, text, corners. I'm going to resize it a little bit because it's really a big picture here. And I'm going to maintain aspect ratio. So as you see, I'm changing the width. Automatically, the height is changing to maintain the aspect ratio, which is great here. So I'm going to change that up and shrink this down a little bit. I'm going to bring it to 800. And it keeps the height aspect ratio. And then I'm going to apply. And then I'm going to save. And now let's go back to the builder. And it shrunk it down. It looks a lot better. It's taking up less space. This background is horrible. I don't like it, so I'm going to change the background color back to white as well. Okay, that looks way better and way less confusing. So now let's continue with content, and let's add a divider here. All right, because we're going to start the content under it. So I'll put a little divider here, and of course you can click on that divider. You can change the color of the divider. Black here. You can change the width, you could align it, add padding to it, whatever you need to do, you can do that. You can make it transparent, which I don't see why you would, but hey, we have it there. All right, I also want to dot the line, so now it's a dotted line and the color is gonna be blue, and you can see it right there. And let's click off of that, and now let's add another row, and in this row I'm going to have 2 columns. Bang, right there. All right, and of course you guys see I will add some text in here. Thanks for filling out our form. We appreciate your interest in our product. And I should probably get rid of that space in between appreciate. That doesn't work out too well. And you have that here. And you could change up, I'll capitalize that. You could change up the font. You could change up the size. I'm going to put it at 18. Alright. And all of that stuff's editable here for the font. Now we have another block over here. What are we going to put in there? I'd say we should probably drop a button, a call to action here. So I'll go back to the text, make another line and say, if you want to learn more about us, click the button to the right. And an exclamation point, right? Now we have a button over here. Now this button, you can link it to a URL to where to send them somewhere after they click that button. They want to learn more. Where do we want to send them? Let's send them to Ember System. Right? www.embersystem.com. That's where they'll go if they want to learn more. And what link type is it? It's going to open a web page. It's going to send an email. Do you want it to make a call? Do you want them to click that button to call you directly or to send you a text message? It's up to you. We're just gonna have them open a web page right now. We can switch the font family, change this around, change the color of the button, all kinds of stuff. Background color of the button. Let's go a little darker blue. Bang. That's maybe too dark. Let's go with this one right here. I like how that looks. Or it'll start to pick up and read what you're doing and see the branding of your brand and your patterns, and it'll start to create different colors that they might think that you like. All right, so I like that one there. I'm gonna go with that. All right, and then you could change the text color. We're gonna stick with white because it looks nice on that blue background, but you have that option to be able to change, and alignment as well. All right, so let's finish with that and back out of this. We're done. We can create for days in here, but we just wanted to create something real simple, and you always have help if you get lost or you can't figure it out. It's very simple, but you have help here. Okay, so let's save that, and now that it's saved, you can send the test email out, but we're not going to do that now. We're just going to save this, and now we have an email, and we'll put it here because after we add the tag to them, we want to send the email out. And we're done with this automation. This is a simple, clean, easy automation. After they fill out that form, it's going to look up the contact and decide, hey, have they filled out a form here before? If they did, if they put a new email in there, let's merge that information. If they change their name, let's merge that information. We want to update this contact. Now, let's contact the owner, which is me in this case. Let's send him an email or SMS or whatever I set it up as. It's going to send me an email and let me know, hey, somebody just filled out my form. Then it's going to slap a tag on them. If they're a new lead or what form did they fill out. It's going to slap that on there. Then it's going to send them out an email. And you can go on and on and on. You just move this out of the way and just keep building this automation as much as you want. Set up your whole email drip campaign if you want. Send them emails for months. All right, so also it's a little bit more advanced, but if you go to Logic here, if you want to wait for a certain amount of time, you want to wait for them to open up the email before this continues. So say after you send this email, you have another email below, but you want to wait and make sure they open this email first. You could put that in there. Or if you want to wait a certain amount of time, you want to wait for a reply from an email and then you have an automatic reply coming into it, you can do that. You want to set a wait for an amount of time before another email sent, you click that and you say, how long do you want to wait before the second email sent? Let's go 3 minutes. Let's go 3 months. You can set all of that up here in automations and take your hands out of the little tedious things, all right? So let's save this and we'll call it my sample flow, and let's publish it. Now after it's published, now it's available for you to be able to trigger, and you trigger it by going into your database here. You can see it down there. It has nothing attached to it yet, so we're going to go to database and we're going to go to forms. Now once we go into forms, we're going to, what does this trigger? What is this form that we made trigger? It triggers what we tell it to trigger, and we're going to tell it to be triggered by sample flow, the new automation we just made. All right. And what happens? A form submission. After that form is submitted, that's when it's triggered. So let's say sample form trigger. This is how it's triggered. So let's add trigger. All right, so now if we go back over to our automation here, you'll see that that trigger is added now. If we go back over the automations, we'll see that sample flow is now triggered by a form submission. All right. That is automations in a nutshell. So easy. If you like the automation, you can copy this automation and set it for different things as well. You just look at the reporting and see what's going on with that automation. All right. So let's bring that up for reporting. Nothing to report because we just created it. We can go to settings. We can look at the other flows And other automations, your settings, we have it going the default email, which we talked earlier. We could look at the other emails and bring those up, or oops, I do not want to do that. I want to keep it at a default email. Bang. And the default phone number, which we'll go over next. But let's move that phone back out of the way so we can see that. Sorry about that. But that's automations, all right? And everything can run on automations in this platform. So you have your websites here. Let's move to that real quick. So we have a few websites that we made here. We're not going to work off of that. We'll go into simple websites, but these are websites created here easily. All right, so you click on, you can look at your design projects. You can look at all your projects here, create folders and organize different projects. All right, we won't go through that. We'll go through create a new project here, and you can create websites, funnels, landing pages, new forms. Well, you can create forms in database or create forms here. It's up to you. A/B split funnel testing, create membership sites where people have to make a payment to get into this membership site, and they're assigned passwords and usernames to get into that site, which we found works really good when people using the Ember platform like to create courses. We urge them create a membership site. That way people that made the payment are only able to access it through the membership site. If that makes sense, all right? You can create payment forms. But all we're going to cover right here, right now, we're not going to walk through a website and funnel because you guys are probably familiar with it, but we also have a course for funnels if you need it. Once again, shoot support at embersystems.com, an email, or you can check out our tutorials here and we'll walk you through how to build a funnel, or academy where we have different courses that we put that are free for you as an Ember member. I like that way that sounds, an Ember member. You can go to the academy and you can pull up and use anything in there. All right, so let's create a quick landing page and let's call it a sample page because we're using that. It seems trending right now. We use sample a lot, so let's go through that, and we'll cover this in a few seconds as well. Okay, so it opens this up. We have, let's add a page here, and you can create an empty page or you can use one of our templates here, and we have some great templates lined up, very colorful, very amazing. Or you can use template blocks. You have unlimited web pages, so don't be afraid to test around, mess around with it. You have all these templates here, and you can grab them and use them at will and customize them, right? Saved blocks, which you can save blocks that you made as templates, and global blocks as well, which don't change. You can use them forever and ever and always, all the time. You create those, all right? So let's close that out and let's look up here. We're going to start with looking at site settings. You go in here and you can create the name of the site. You can bring a favicon in here, preferably 200 by 200 pixels. You just drag and drop it in here, or you click it and you bring it in here. Now our favicon that we put in here, I'll bring that little guy up. It's this little blurry guy. We just bring him up in here, and it'll show up at the top of the tab when people click on the web page. So you have custom code here if you want to add that for tracking purposes or anything that you have, affiliate programs. This is the header, this is the body start, and that's the body end. Integration scripts you can put in there with JavaScript. Robotext you can put in there for SEO, GDPR. You have all of that here. You set your country, wherever you are, and you have your tracking as well for Facebook API integrations or Google Analytics. All right, so let's back out of that here. And you have your page settings. You can go in here, change your page name, not your site name, but the current page that you're editing, the slug that you want. So you'll have your full website name, www.mybusiness.com/ what is the name here. We have it set as index. You can set it as home. You can set it as store, whatever you want. And then you have your page title here, what's going to show at the top of the page when they click, labeled on the tab. Okay, you could click this to improve speed. I always suggest doing so. Description and keywords for SEO, that's all there. CSS, for if you're in the HTML, go ahead and put your CSS style tags in here and then click on enable and then save it. All right, custom code, anything custom that you want to put in here. We already walked through over site settings, but it's the same thing, but this is for the page and not for the entire site. Got it? And then you have your tracking. You can collect, sorry, got tongue tied there. You can connect your Facebook pixels now for your advertising, all right? So let's close out of all of that. You have your HTML code and you have your file manager for any files that you bring into this. You can upload files in here and use them without having to upload over and over again. You just manage them all right here. You have different views that you're looking through. Desktop, how your page is going to look on a laptop, a tablet, or a phone. All right. And then you have different pages. These are where your pages are going to show. Since we're just doing a landing page, all we have is one single page. Here you add blocks in your content. You show layers if you want to layer things. All right. Show pages, the different pages. Now, like I said, we only have one page, but if you click here, you'll see you have, let's move the phone out of the way, it's a pain in the butt, a custom page if it's not found, a custom page for error, or if you want, and you're doing a landing page, you say, hey, I want to add another page. Go ahead and add another page just by clicking that plus button and add another page. We're not going to add another page though, but you have that option there. So let's close that again, or you could sticky it to the spot to where it doesn't move. So now that's stuck there, but I'm gonna unstick it because I like to have my full workspace. I'm gonna shrink that back down and I'm going to add blocks. So let's really start adding content here. Let's add page, and we're not gonna use a template here. They're very nice, but actually let's look at the template. You can download the template, select it, or you can copy a public URL. Let's just click it and let's look at how a preview of how this full template is gonna look. Very nice, very crisp, very clean, very constant in this color scheme. All right, so you can look at exactly how that's going to look, and you can drag and drop and look however you want. All right, we're not going to use it, but if you were, you would import that template, and you can look at the different template blocks that are inside of it, and you could pull just that template block. So say you don't like this guy here, but you do like the way that they do these instructors here, you could click that and just bring that over. All right, so let's close that and let's get started on our blank page. So we're just going to create an empty page here, and we're going to keep it very, very simple. All right, so we have our assets here. I don't have any assets uploaded yet, but I'm going to, or you can look at royalty-free images that you can use from Pixabay. It automatically integrates. You just type what you want, and let's look up a friendly smile, because it's always great to see a smile when somebody comes to your landing page, right? So we have all kinds of smiles here. I like this guy. He looks like he really has a lot going on here. So we can either save it to our hard drive. We can edit that picture by clicking that little picture, or we can add it to the page. And let's just add that guy. Let's just add him to the page and see what he's gonna bring, what kind of flair he's gonna bring to us here. Oh, sorry there. All right, so we have an so once you go into editing your page, you'll have your complete layout here, and there's a bunch of stuff. So remember those forms we created? Your form that we just made, it's right here. We can put that form on this page at any time we want. You have your membership sites we were talking about. This is the login form, forgot password. All of that stuff is right here for course creators and people that have exclusive content. You have that calendar. When we were talking about the calendar, you could place that calendar on your page so where people can do booking from here. Your social media, all of that stuff, maps, audio, custom code, pop-up screens, a counter to create urgency, a countdown, switchers, text, buttons, pictures. It's all here. You could put it all in here, even video. All right, that's all here. So let's just create a grid, and you can determine how you want it to look. So I want to create a grid that's a 2x1, and I'm going to apply that, and you can see how it is. I have 2 columns here now set up, and let's put text, a heading in this one, and we're going to put making a cool page. exclamation mark, and let's throw in image, because people love images, right? And let's image settings here, and let's add an image here, and let's pull our smiling buddy, because I clicked him too many times, but it's okay, we could delete that image because I did not mean to bring him in here so many times, but I think I went click happy. It's alright, so we'll just delete him just for, yeah, so you can see how to do it. And let's add him in here. Uh-oh, where's our buddy at? I might have messed that up, sorry, I clicked the wrong picture. Let's add our smiling buddy in here. Bam. That's odd. Alright, and we'll go to system assets, and we have the smiling guy here, but we'll leave him alone now. I just wanted you to see how to upload him into the system from royalty free images. But we'll use our system assets. You also have site assets. We have nothing in there because we didn't pick a template, but if we pick the template, it will have all those assets. Now these are system assets that I have uploaded before. So I'm gonna go with this lady. She looks like she wants to be on the page. Now if you notice how it looks here, if you click on image settings, you can choose with this little dot what part of the image you want to show. And we want to get more of her face there, right? So bam, we're gonna move that up there, and we can move it this way to show more of this or whatever we want. And then you also have tags, filters, shadows you can do. We're not gonna walk through all of that. Background colors you can change, add a link to it, transform it. We can animate the image. We're not gonna do any of that. It's there, it's there. All right, so we have making a cool page. Let's throw in some text under here, and it's so easy to create a website or landing page with Ember. Even funnels are simple. Drag and drop! Exclamation point. And it's so easy. It's just so easy. Delete. Let's delete that. You can add whatever you want. Tabs. Let's put a spacer in here in between her and the next thing that we're gonna do in this green line there. Bam. So we have a spacer there, and let's throw in a calendar. No, let's throw in our form that we created earlier, right? So that form that we made, the multi step one, let's throw that in there. See how it looks. So it's loading, and hey, remember, hello, thanks for watching, and that form is there. People could fill that out right there. It has both steps. It's so simple, so easy, so quick. It's just so easy. All right, now let's publish. So we go to publish. You have published site. You could preview the page as well. You could disable autosave, or you could save draft. I like to keep autosave enabled, but let's publish it here. Page published successfully, but it really isn't yet, because now it's going to ask you how you want to do it. Now you can add a domain, a custom domain from GoDaddy, from Google, wherever you buy your domains from. You can add that here simply, or you could pick a free site using one of the servers that we have contact with, so, or we have an agreement with. I like to use hostio.me. They've never given me a problem, and I'm just gonna call it a sample page, and it's gonna be samplepage.hostio.me just for this. All right. And then you click next, And what it's going to do now, it's going to ask you, what do you want to set this up for? Website hosting, which we do need website hosting, right? This is going to be your page right here, samplepage.hostio.me. And do you want to set up email sending? You can set up an email like support@samplepage.hostio.me. You now have an email address for this new page that you just created. But we're not going to do that in this step here. We don't need to set all of that up, but it is there. So let's go to next. After we click next, it'll allow you the option of, do you want the fastest website? Yes, of course we do. All right. So after we click that, right now it's just creating the page and optimizing it, and now it's processing, and now it's connected to the domain. Now this page is published. Now we have the page. It's done. All right, so let's go to the page and see what it looks like. Bang. This is our page. Done. Published. All right, people can fill out the forms. You can do whatever they have to do. Click next. They can make that purchase. Bam. Sign that signature. Click agree. Whatever they need to do. Add stuff to this. Drop a file in here. Click submit form. And that is so simple. It's so simple. All right. So let's exit out of the website because we're pretty much done. We're almost at the end, guys. Tracking lets you to see everything that's going on. Anybody that's filled out a form, that's done anything, it's there. Phone is pretty cool because it allows you to create a phone number for your business, and also you have the Ember app, which will ring on your actual cell phone, but it'll ring in a different tone to let you know that somebody's calling for business. So you can create whatever. You can sign up for phone numbers here. You could port a existing phone number, but why do that when you could just get a phone number here, right? You can get as many phone numbers as you want. You can enable SMS, enable MSS, calls enabled. You have your own phone number, right? And you can set up extensions for that phone number as well. And that works with our IVR system and automation. So if somebody calls, it can send them to this extension, that extension, your sales team, your finance team, your AP, your AR team, whatever you want. All right, and you also have voicemails, and you can set up for each phone number to have its own voicemail recording. You could upload things that you need to, and you could also set up conference rooms, and you could also set it up to where each call that's incoming is recorded. All right, you could set up your payments via Stripe, via any one of them. You could create invoices. You could create products, coupons, all of this stuff, settings. All right, and then you go into your settings here. You won't have white labels. Don't worry about that. You have your video editor. You have a social media planner that does all the scheduling of your posts and post out, all of that stuff. And we're running out of time, and that's why I'm rushing through this. But you have your social media schedule and planner. You have your design studio that pretty much replaces Canva, Photoshop, all of these things. You have Competition Spy, which allows you to put in your current industry, and it'll bring up all your competitors and show you what they're doing on social media. So then if you see them doing something successful, you cannot copy it, but you can mimic that and build on it and do better. But it's always great to see your competition. By the way, we just finished the open beta of Competition Spy, and we're really happy to show it. I'm going to show it in another video, but I just wanted to cover our main things here. And these are things that we've just added to it. You know, we have our social platform that also allows you to use AI to be able to create your social media campaigns and your social media posting. Design Studio allows you to create your graphic design, allows you to create logos and such. All right, we have all of this red stuff down here. It's called resources. So you have your academy where we have courses in here. Net Builders, a podcast that we have that helps business owners to build their businesses, where I have conversations with other successful entrepreneurs, and we're constantly updating this and adding new episodes all the time. Tutorials that'll lead you and help you to use this platform even more. Media, I put videos up that are just inspirational or just motivating and helping with your marketing. And blogs, we have a blog that we update once every week with a new article on how to build your business more, how to do more with your marketing, more with automation. About us, it's self-explanatory, and contact us is always there. AI chatbot, we're almost done with the beta and almost ready to release it, but you just think of, it's a chat GPT that allows you to come up with your marketing campaigns using AI. All right, so, and of course you have where you can contact me at any time. Here we have our help docs. You could change from light to dark. This might be easier on the eyes there, but this is our platform, and we're just only growing and building and adding more to it. All right, sorry I didn't have the time to walk through everything step by step, but I just wanted to walk through those main things with you. We're already at an hour, so I don't want to waste any more of your time. I'm just glad that you were able to stick with me throughout the duration of this video, and I look forward to seeing you when you sign up for Ember. And if you need any help, remember, support at embersystems.com. We're there. My team is there 24/7 to answer any questions and help you out with any questions that you have. So you guys have a great day. And remember, we have a 14-day trial for anybody that signs up now. So I would suggest I would really, really urge you to take advantage of that 14-day trial. There's no obligation. There's no, it's a 14-day trial, allowing you into our system to be able to check it out and be able to get all the things that we offer here. So I really urge you to take advantage of that. And you guys have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you join in the Ember team. All right, take care.